Are you starting out in digital marketing and you're a mental health professional, a coach, or a spiritual practitioner, and you really want to use digital marketing but you don't know where to begin? Don't worry, this video is for you today. Hello, I'm Dr. RB. I'm a licensed psychologist and coach, and I coach mental health professionals. Hello, I'm Dr. RB, and I coach mental health professionals, coaches, and spiritual practitioners to grow their thriving practice with the use of digital marketing step by step. So, today we're going to talk about one of the platforms that I use to coach my coachees. And this is there's two platforms that I only use and that I recommend. And they're the best that's out there. The first one is that we're going to talk about today, and I might mention the second one later on at the end. The first one is called the Roadmap Exclusive. It used to be called the Roadmap 3.0. They started with, I guess, 1 and then 2.0, or maybe it was just the Roadmap, then 2.0, then 3.0, and now we have the Exclusive. The difference being is that the 3.0 that was being run on a platform called Kajabi. If you're not familiar with Kajabi, Kajabi is a learning management system type of platform, and it's where you would run courses. It's a very complete and thorough and robust platform. I used to use Kajabi. Now I switched to Learn Worlds, but that's for another video. Actually, I do have a video on Learn Worlds, and you could check that out as well. So I'm going to go through the Roadmap Exclusive. It's very new. It just was emailed to everybody this week. So it's brand new. I'm going to give you a little bit of an overview here, and I'm going to add my thoughts. Now, for those of you that purchase the roadmap through my link that's below somewhere, I include the coaching with that. So it's not for you to purchase it and be alone. The whole purpose of me doing this is that I want to walk you through a platform that's going to teach you all the skills that you need to know so that you can grow your thriving practice. Because as we all know, we go through school, we get our degrees, we're great at what we do in the mental health field or in the coaching or even in spiritual practitioner fields, and yet no one teaches us how to have a real business. No one teaches us about marketing. No one teaches us about any of that. So these are things that we have to learn usually afterwards, after we graduate. Then we just learn. Usually it's a school of life that has to teach you. But in this situation, you don't have to go through it alone. You have myself as your coach, as well as a whole community, no matter which platform, which of the two you decide to go with. But we're going to go over the Roadmap Exclusive. Now, what I do want to say firsthand, before I decide to get involved in anything, I like to know the founders, who started it, what are they like, and I look them up and I research them. So with the roadmap, we have our founders, which is Hannah and Zach, and if you check them out and you listen to them talk, I mean, these are just people that are very passionate, they're very driven to basically help people grow their own businesses. And that's one of the things that I really enjoyed about this. There was some issues with the other ones, and that's what led to this being created, which I'm not going to go into right now. But needless to say, the design, the aesthetics, the intuitive nature of going through this program and platform, it's amazing. For those of you that are coming from Roadmap 3.0, because that's what you had before, you should know that the 3.0 was a master resale rights platform. So you could purchase the platform, turn around and sell it and make 100% profit. With this business model, it's different. This is basically an affiliate model. So what you're going to do is you're going to basically walk people through. You give them a link, they purchase the program, and you are going to be paid an affiliate percentage. In this case, it's 80%, which you will be paid. They also lifted up the rate of the program, so they made it a little bit more expensive to offset this. It's still a difference of $20, which is nothing compared to if you had to manage it yourself, which, by the way, is an option if you have the Roadmap 3.0 and you think you could just take over it and run it for yourself. Then that's something you could definitely do. You would have to do it on your own platform. So you would either have to open up a Kajabi account and pay for it that way. I always have to remember that I have to make sure I'm talking into the mic. So you have to make sure that you are that you have your own platform, that you are using, Kajabi. In this case, they switched over to StanStore, which I was a little bit concerned about because I didn't know if it was going to be as classy as Kajabi, but it is. It looks great. And knowing Zach and Hannah, they seem to be very aesthetic. They seem to be very intuitive. So I think it's, I didn't expect anything less. But, not to say that StanStore is not classy by any means, but it all depends on how you set it up. Okay, so let's kind of go through this. So when you land, this is your landing page. This is the beginning of the roadmap. Now, what I always tell my coachees, please, 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 please start at the very beginning. A lot of the times people get excited. They want to skip and they want to go straight to the meat. They want to get into the program and into the course. And that's not smart because a lot of the little things that later on you have questions about are in those beginning modules. So, and these modules are pretty quick. They just kind of set you up for success as you navigate through this platform. So one of the things that I want to just show you, this is basically when you get on, you're going to see this. You're going to see the welcome. Like I said before, please do not avoid it. I'm going to go in it in a second. I wanted to show you this little, it's like a little square and it's a little quote here. If you click on it, this is their version of a chatbot. And for those of you that are familiar, I have been learning in the last year how to create my own AI agent / chatbot. It's AI agent is really the way that it is. It's a modern way. It's a modern chatbot, and it's very different than the old chatbots that we used that were very annoying because they didn't really answer your questions and it was just a pain. With these AI agents, which I'm hoping this is what this is, simply because Hannah in her last video, she had mentioned that they had to feed it more information, and that's what you do with an AI agent. So when she said that, I'm thinking, oh, they might have set up an AI agent. Okay, so I just have here one question that I had asked it before just to see if it was up and running. So this is, they call it Rhodey. I thought that was a cute name. And as we go along, it's going to have more and more information. You could interact with it, find things faster. Another thing I want to show you here is you have the search bar up here. The really nice thing about this search bar, it'll show you not only if there's a module for your question, it'll actually show you all the modules that have that keyword. So for example, if I want to talk about TikTok or ask a question about TikTok, it's going to bring up all the different modules. So you have video 6, how to create a TikTok. You have these other chapters that have TikTok in it. And then you have 47 different files that contain the keyword TikTok. So even if you don't find it, because sometimes we have a question, it's not really covered in the modules. I'm not saying about here, but in general, this is a really nice feature to have. It really kind of goes through and just looks for that keyword. So it's excellent. You could see all the different places where you'll find it. So again, it's so important to know that you have this search bar up here, as well as the AI agent down here, which again, the AI agent's going to get better over time. but these are two things that are important. You also have next to your profile picture, you have the little hamburger. That's going to show you the different areas or components of this platform, whether it's account settings, they have a bonus content library, and so forth. Okay, so that's another thing. So you have these three things right at the very beginning that they tell you about, where at the beginning, at these welcome videos that everybody skips. Now let's go into there. I just want to show you, there's only 4 videos, very quick to get through it. It's, there's a welcome, there's how to use a platform, how to access the community, and then really what is the roadmap. And it's so important to know what this is, because if you are going to be reselling it, not as an MRR anymore, but as an affiliate, it's so important for you to get your language correct. Because if you say that this is a course, that's really not accurate. So you have to understand what it is. And that's what they tell you here in video 4. And so this is just the beginning. And another thing I just want to let you know up here, which is interesting, you have a little circle with a percentage that just lets you know how much you have completed. So I went through it. You can see I have 100% there. So I'm walking the talk, and and there you go. So let's go back out. I want to show you also the community, which is so important. And here you have, if you have, well, let me talk about the spaces. So you have the spaces down here. And this is just basically the different parts of the community. So you can just go there. If you stick with the all discussions, you're going to get everything mixed together. But if you want it to be separated or filtered out, you have it over here on the side. So you have like ask a question, testimonials, and product updates. What I was really surprised here is that I see that there's 6,750 members in the exclusive. I know that the roadmap has always had over 40,000. So this is just obviously letting you know that it's new, that it's just being rolled out this week. So that number's bound to increase. But anyway, this is your community. This is where you get to ask questions and testimonials and all that jazz. Then we have the Inspiration Hub here, which I really like, and my other platform that I also use with my coachees that also has something similar. I think this is so important because when you are doing digital marketing, a lot of the times this can feel very lonely. And you're dealing with a lot of your own, demons and spiders and shadows, and you doubt yourself. You don't know if you could do this work. Sometimes you just feel like giving up. Some people need the structure. They don't do very well when they just have no structure. So a lot of the times that's why people end up going back to work from 9 to 5. People need that 9 to 5 structure. So what I mean by that is that it's so important to have a place where you can get inspired. Now, some of you are of the type that you're very sensitive to your environment. And if you're the type of person that maybe you'll be inspired if your environment is inspiring. And what I mean by that is I'm the type of person that if I'm surrounded by people making more money than me, people being more successful than myself, or people working out and looking great and having better fitness than myself, I have just never been the type to get envious or to feel bad or to, leave that space, kind of feeling deflated in any way. I actually get inspired. So if my mindset has always been, if they can do it, I can do it. If I don't see anybody doing it, then I get scared, right? But if I see people that are successful, if I see people that are making, X amount of dollars or whatever, I've always thought to myself that that is a possibility. And I get inspired when I hear inspirational stories. That's what keeps me going. So whenever I am listening to depressing news or any of that, I have to sometimes watch myself, and I'll have to say to myself, okay, I need to surround myself. I need to change my environment right now. And so that's something that I have learned throughout the years, especially in my profession as a psychologist. It's so important. So if you're that type of person, then this is great because this is an area where you're going to have stories from people that have been successful, people that are living their dreams or what have you. So here we have only 7 stories. That's, of course, it's going to change. They're even asking if anybody wants to submit their story here, so that's only going to grow. But it's so important to have this section in the platform, in the program, because that is something that people really hold on to, and it helps them to get back up and keep going, and to commit, to go back and commit to what they committed to at the beginning. So this is all important. So I really strongly believe never skip an inspiration hub. Then you have your customer service section, which again, they divide into different areas, which I think is great. I just want to point out a couple things here. They have the funnel mix, which is a funnel service. It's separate, but I purchased it before a few months ago. They were having a good deal. I think it's wonderful. It's beautiful, very aesthetic. And they have the actual funnel service. One is the design aspect, and the other is the actual program, which is System. And so they go together. And but again, if you don't get the funnel mix with System, you also have a lot of ways of being creative there, because System provides you with some of the things that you need. They also have a section on the Stand Store, because this is now that's the platform that this is being used on. And so these are just different areas here for that, to get some customer service. They have a one-on-one paid support as well. Before it was a little bit more, I don't know, it wasn't so obvious. Now it's right there in the beginning. A lot of people, they just prefer to pay someone or to pay for guidance or what have you. The nice thing about being part of having a coach like myself and having a community, that you really won't need this, per se, because that's what, at least that's what I do for my community. So that's so important with that. And then after you get through all of that, which is really fast, it's not that long, then you start getting into the meat of this platform. You get into the creating the business, which you have 5 files there, marketing your business in a digital age. So these are just, they're so important. I mean, the creating your business is pretty much how to set up your business structure. This is very important because we're talking about the foundation here. And if you don't have a good foundation in any business, it's just going to fall apart. It might not fall apart at the beginning, but eventually it's going to hurt you. It doesn't mean that you have to be terrified, but at least start somewhere, create a good structure as best as you can, and then you might tweak it on later on down the road. I know for myself in my practice, I first started out as an LLC, then later I switched to an S Corp, then now I have a C Corp, just because it works better for me and for my business. Of course, for those types of things, it's so important to have a good accountant and a good attorney. But here, this gives you a good foundation of how to choose a business structure, and also different types of businesses, business ideas, and then some common mistakes that people have experienced. So again, this is foundational. So that's something that is important. And then you get into the marketing, which I always say sales and marketing is the lifeblood of any business. If you don't have good sales and marketing processes in place, then it's your business is not going to be healthy. It's probably not going to last. So it's so important to develop a system. You know, if there's one thing I could say about just everything that has to do with digital marketing and even running your own practice, you are going to be creating systems. And once you create it, you're going to be doing the work and you're going to create it. Once the system is created, it is done and it should be flowing smoothly. The problem is when people do not create a system, when people are just kind of flying through the seat of the pants. And it's so easy to do that at the very beginning when you're starting your own practice because you just, you know, you want to just see people and you want to start making revenue. And I can appreciate that. But you have to create a system, you know, and it could be a system that walks the client from, you know, finding you on Google and then contacting you and then, you know, making the first appointment and coming in and insurance if you're taking insurance. And so all of that should be a system. It should be created. One of the things that I recommend for my coachees is to have a big whiteboard or maybe to have a digital mapping, mind mapping type of software that you could also use. Having a whiteboard just easier, or you know, if you want a big piece of white paper, whatever. But just kind of in your mind, you want to go and walk through